Money has rules, and if you don't know them, you'll work your whole life chasing it and still feel broke. But the wealthy, the people who actually win with money, they live by a different set of laws. And today, I'm breaking down the 20 laws of money to get rich. These aren't just tips. They're timeless principles pulled from billionaires, ancient texts, and financial masters. Stick with me till the end of this video, because one single law could completely change the way you handle your money forever. Welcome back. I'm David, and here we talk about money, business, and financial freedom in most simple way. So you don't just work for money, you learn how to make money work for you. So let's begin with the first law. Law number 1, money flows to those who respect it. Here's the truth. Money is like a guest. If you disrespect it, it won't stay. Most people have no clue where their money goes each month. They say, I don't know why I'm always broke. But wealthy people track every dollar. They treat money like a business partner, not a random accident. Imagine inviting someone to your home and ignoring them. They'll leave. Money works the same way. Respect it by budgeting, tracking expenses, and making intentional choices. Treat money with discipline, and it will start flowing toward you instead of away from you. Law number 2, pay yourself. First, this law is ancient. It goes back to the richest man in Babylon, and it's simple. Before you pay your bills, before you buy groceries, before Netflix or Starbucks, you pay your future self. Set aside 10%, 20%, or even 30% of every dollar you earn. That money is sacred. It's for investments, savings, wealth building. Most people do the opposite. They spend on everyone else, then hope something's left over. That's why they never build wealth. The rich flip it. They save first, spend later. This one shift is the foundation of financial freedom. Law number 3, never spend more than 70% of your income. Jim Rohn had a formula. Live on 70%, save 10%, invest 10%, and give 10%. That 70% forces discipline, while the other portions grow your wealth and generosity. Here's why this matters. Most people live at 100%, or even worse, 120%, thanks to credit cards, EMIs, and loans. That means every raise or bonus is already eaten by lifestyle inflation. But when you cap your spending at 70%, you create margin. That margin is the seed for wealth. It's not about being cheap. It's about building power. Law number 4, money is a tool, not the goal. Think of money like a hammer. It's powerful, but useless unless you know what to build with it. Poor people chase money for the sake of money. They flash it, they spend it, they hoard it, but they never use it. The wealthy understand money is just energy. It buys time, opportunities, freedom. Example, if you use money to buy assets, it pays you back forever. If you use money to buy status, it drains you forever. That's why many celebrities go broke, because they think money itself is the goal, when in reality, it's just the tool to create the life you want. Law number 5, build assets, not liabilities. Robert Kiyosaki said it best. The rich buy assets, the poor buy liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket every month. A liability takes money out. It's really that simple. Your rental property that pays rent, that's an asset. The luxury car that loses value and needs endless maintenance, that's a liability. But here's the trick. Most people confuse the two. They think their big house is an asset, but if it doesn't generate income, it's not. The wealthy focus on collecting income-producing assets until their assets can cover all their expenses. That's financial independence. Law number 6, protect your downside. Wealth isn't built by just making money. It's also by keeping it. Warren Buffett's first rule, never lose money. His second rule, never forget rule number 1. Most people focus only on upside, how much they can make, but ignore risk. That's why they fall for scams, risky crypto bets, and get rich quick promises. The wealthy play defense. They insure their assets, they diversify, they keep emergency funds. They know one big mistake can wipe out 10 years of progress. Protect your downside, and you'll stay in the game long enough to win. Law number 7, learn the language of money. Money is its own language. If you can't speak it, you'll always be at a disadvantage. Words like assets, equity, cash flow, compound interest, ROI, and leverage aren't just fancy terms. They are the alphabet of wealth. Think about it. If you moved to a foreign country without speaking the language, you'd constantly get cheated, lost, and confused. That's exactly what happens when people avoid financial literacy. They sign contracts they don't understand, get stuck in debt traps, and let banks and companies dictate the terms. The wealthy study the language of money deliberately. They read financial statements like novels. They understand how to interpret a stock's earnings report or a property's cash flow. And once you understand the language, you see opportunities where everyone else sees noise. If you want to be rich, don't just work for money. Learn how money works. Law number 8, compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. Compounding is simple, but it's the most powerful wealth engine in history. Here's the basic idea. Money makes money, and then that money makes more money. Over time, the snowball grows into something massive. Example, if you invest $1,000 at 10% annual growth, in the first year you make $100. In the second year, you earn interest not just on your $1,000, but on $1,100. By year 30, that $1,000 becomes over $17,000 without you lifting a finger. Now imagine doing this with $500 every single month. That grows into almost $1 million over a few decades. The tragedy? Most people don't give compounding the one thing it needs, time. They wait until their 30s or 40s to start investing. Every year you delay is tens of thousands lost. The wealthy start early, stay consistent, and let compounding do the heavy lifting. And if you want to know how you can build your wealth with compounding, you can watch my video on this topic, link in description. Law number 9, diversify, but don't over-diversify. You've heard the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's true, but here's the part people miss. If you put your eggs in too many baskets, you'll never build wealth either. Wealthy people diversify enough to reduce risk, but they don't spread themselves so thin that they can't manage or understand their investments. Warren Buffett once said, diversification is protection against ignorance. What he meant was this: if you know what you're doing, you don't need 50 different investments. The average person tries to buy a little of everything, some crypto here, a few random stocks there, maybe a half-hearted real estate attempt, and they end up knowing nothing deeply. The rich choose a handful of areas they understand well and go big. The key is balance. Don't gamble everything on one play, but don't scatter so much that nothing grows. Law number 10, avoid bad debt, use good debt. Wisely, debt is like fire. It can keep you warm, or it can burn down your house. Poor people use debt to buy things that lose value. New phones, clothes, cars they can't afford. That's bad debt, and it keeps you trapped. Rich people use debt strategically to buy assets that produce income. A rental property purchased with a mortgage can generate cash flow every month. A business loan, if used wisely, can create jobs and profits. That's good debt. It pays for itself. But here's the trap. Most people never learn to control it. They treat debt like free money, when in reality, it's the most expensive money in the world. High interest credit cards and personal loans are wealth killers. Wealthy people avoid that completely. They only borrow when the debt is working harder for them than they are. Law number 11, money loves speed, but wealth loves patience. When an opportunity comes, it doesn't wait around forever. Wealthy people act fast. If they see a property undervalued, a business with potential, or a market shift, they move before the crowd notices. That's why the average person always feels like they're late to the game. But here's the twist. While making money often requires speed, building wealth requires patience. Amazon took years to become profitable. Investors who stuck with it became millionaires. Those who wanted fast results dropped out early. Wealth is built in decades, not days. The trick is to combine speed with patience. Move quickly when you see a great opportunity, but let time do its work after you've invested. Impulse builds nothing. Strategy builds empires. Law number 12, never rely on a single income stream. If your only source of income is your salary, you're walking on a tightrope. Lose the job and everything collapses. The wealthy never depend on just one source. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Think about it. Salary is just one. Add in rental income. dividend-paying stocks, business profits, royalties, online side hustles, and you've got a fortress. Even if one income stream dries up, the others keep you safe. For most people, the easiest way to start is a small side hustle. It doesn't need to be huge. Even $500 a month from freelancing, online products, or investments changes the game. That small stream can grow and over time become larger than your main job. Wealthy people don't ask, how can I earn more at my job? They ask, how can I add another stream that works while I sleep? Law number 14, don't work for money, make money work for you. Most people trade time for money. They go to work, clock in hours, and get a paycheck. The problem? Time is limited. You can only work so many hours in a day. That's why no matter how hard they grind, they never break free. Wealthy people flip the script. They put their money to work. How? Through investments, stocks, real estate, businesses, intellectual property. These generate cash flow without constant effort. Think of every dollar like an employee. The poor spend their employees on entertainment and consumption. The rich send their employees out into the world to work 24/7. Robert Kiyosaki said, the rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Until you make this shift, you'll always be stuck in the rat race. Law number 15, money is attracted to value. Money follows value the way water flows downhill. If you create value for people, solve problems, improve lives, save time, or bring joy, money will chase you. If you chase money directly, it runs away. Look at Elon Musk. He didn't just want money. He wanted to solve massive problems. Online payments, PayPal, space travel, SpaceX, sustainable energy, Tesla. Because he created immense value, billions followed. The poor often say, how can I make more money? The rich ask, how can I provide more value? Solve bigger problems, and money will line up to find you. Law number 16, think in terms of multiplication, not addition. Most people think linearly. How can I add $1,000 to my income? The wealthy think exponentially. How can I multiply my income by 10 times? This is why rich people build systems, not just jobs. For example, a freelancer may earn $50 an hour, but if they create a digital product or business, it can earn money thousands of times over without additional hours. Jeff Bezos didn't think, how can I sell 100 books a day? He thought, how can I create a system that sells millions of books automatically? The lesson, if you keep thinking in addition, you'll always trade time for money. If you think multiplication, you'll build wealth that outpaces your effort. Law number 17, live below your means, but expand your means over time. Frugality is powerful, but if all you do is cut costs, you'll never build true wealth. The poor cut back until they suffocate. The rich know the secret. Live below your means while aggressively working to expand your means. Warren Buffett still lives in the same modest house he bought decades ago. That's frugality, but at the same time, he built Berkshire Hathaway into a $1 trillion empire. That's expansion. If you only save, you'll feel trapped. If you only spend, you'll go broke. The balance is live wisely now while building skills, businesses, and investments that grow your earning power massively over time. Law number 18, protect yourself from inflation. One of the biggest silent killers of wealth is inflation. Prices rise every year. Food, rent, education, healthcare. If your money is sitting idle in a bank account earning 3% interest and inflation is 6%, you're quietly getting poorer. The rich know this. They don't leave piles of cash sitting around. They put it into assets that beat inflation. Stocks, real estate, and businesses historically grow faster than inflation. Think about it. In the 1970s, a cup of coffee cost 25 cents. Today, it costs $3 to $5. If you held cash, you lost. If you owned assets, you won. The lesson? Inflation punishes savers and rewards investors. Law number 19, never let money sit idle. Money hates being lazy. Every dollar you leave unused is a soldier sitting in the barracks instead of fighting on the battlefield. Wealthy people don't let cash gather dust. That doesn't mean spending recklessly. It means deploying money into productive uses. If it's not an investment, it should be fueling growth. starting a business, funding education, buying income-generating assets. Poor people say, I'll wait until I have enough to invest. Rich people start with whatever they have. Even $100 put to work is better than $10,000 sitting idle. Law number 20. Money grows where attention flows. Whatever you focus on expands. If you ignore your money, it shrinks. If you study it, track it, and nurture it, it grows. Think of it like a garden. If you plant seeds and never water them, weeds take over. That's how most people treat their finances. They earn money, spend it blindly, and hope things work out. Wealthy people watch their money closely. They know their income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. They check their investments. They constantly look for ways to optimize and grow. That attention creates momentum. Money is not mysterious. It's responsive. It grows where your focus goes. And there you have it, the 20 laws of money to get rich. These aren't just tips. They're timeless principles drawn from history, billionaires, philosophers, and the psychology of wealth itself. If you absorb even 10% of these and apply them consistently, you'll be miles ahead of the average person stuck in financial chains. If you found value here, don't just watch and leave, act. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment on which law hit you the hardest, and tell me what topic you want next. Because here's the truth, financial freedom isn't luck, it's law. And those who follow the laws win.